Oh, hi everybody. It's your buddy Ken Boggle, and this is Coffee. Welcome to Coffee with Ken Boggle. Happy Sunday morning. Thank you all so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, cheers. Cheers, clink. Thank you all so much for watching. It's Coffee with Ken Boggle. If you would, say hello in the comment section below so that I know that you're with me and so that I know that you're watching. Yes, if you would, Miss Elizabeth Saint, my producer and friend's going to put right over here. Here? She's going to put all your things over here. And you're going to say good morning. I'm going to say good morning back to you. Hi, Jennifer Marine Beliquette. Nice to see you. Miss Shannon Tipton. Hello, hello. Kathy, good morning. Good morning, lovely. How are you, Kathy? What have you been into? Things good? Angela Allen, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you. Miss Tanya. Tanya, good morning. Cheers to you, Tanya. Clink. Hi, Raylyn. My sister. My sister Raylyn's in the comment section there. She's in the comment section over here. You should say hello to her. Rosie, good morning. Angela Martin. Ah, Miss Jan and Luella Williamson. Yes. Clink, ladies. Cheers. We had a great tarot reading yesterday, didn't we? Kay Foster says, good morning from the United Kingdom. I love the United Kingdom. Something very fun happened there last night. My good friend, Michael David Roberts, who owns Take the Cake Productions, was with Phil Wyman. Now, you might not know Phil Wyman offhand, but he was in a show called Most Haunted with my good friends Yvette and Carl Fielding years ago. And he took his leave of that show sometime in the 2000s and um, just recently, I guess, started doing a new show called Are You Haunted? Michael David Roberts and them over there. Do you remember Most Haunted? Do you all remember that? It's quite the thing. Quite the thing. Nicole Groff, good morning from Wisconsin. Good morning, Wisconsin. Judith Bailey. Okay, so look, Judith Bailey. We got to talk about Judith Bailey, this chick here. Judith Bailey, aka Snoogie Bailey, was a good girlfriend of mine in high school, and we used to get up to shenanigans. I won't say exactly what all we went in for, but we used to get up to shenanigans, didn't we, girl? We had such a good time, and we used to sit in my basement and watch South Park the movie and all this stuff. And just this week, she sent me a friend request, and now we're back to being buddies. I haven't seen Snoogie in forever. Good morning, everybody. Yes, if you would, please click share. Click share, but make sure you put a little something there in the description about how I've got a foul mouth, because we don't need anybody yelling at us later. Mm. Good morning, Joan. How are you? She says, good morning from, is it Sarasota? Yeah, good morning, Sarasota. How are things there? How are things there? Sarah Dixon says to Miss Snoogie, morning, girl. Sarah Dixon went to high school with us. That's a vibe. That's a thing. It happened. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so if it's your first time here at Coffee with Kim Boggle, here's how it works. The first thing we do is we do a little catch up with Kim Boggle where we talk about things that happened to me this week. And my partner says that nobody probably cares, but I think you do, because I'm a narcissist, and that's sort of what narcissists do. We think you care. Anyway, we'll get in that mode. Talk a little bit about what's going on, what's happening, and what has been happening. Tell you a little funny story about last night when I decided to punch a ceiling fan. That's going to be a thing that we'll do. And then we'll do a tarot gallery reading. And in a tarot gallery reading, what happens is you type in or you text in your questions in the comment section wherever you're at. And that then gets put up here. And then I read them. And then I answer them with a deck of tarot cards, some common sense, and a little intuition. It's going to be a thing, a tarot gallery reading. We answer all kinds of questions, things about work, family, home, money, health. We talk about heartbreak, relationships, all those things. The one thing we won't do on social media is talk to our deceased loved ones. I think mediumship readings are way too personal to be doing on a Sunday morning on Facebook. Anyway, after the tarot gallery reading, we're going to do the tarot weekly forecast. This is, excuse me, had a belch. This is when we go week through the whole week, day from day to day to day. I'm going to tell you what the card is, what the card means, what you should expect, and if something's terrible, we'll make it terrific. If something's screwy, we'll make it satisfying. I'm joined today. I'm joined today by my good buddy Lucy, who is a dog that I call Goosey. She's Lucy Goosey, and at some point, I hope to entice her to come do a cameo. A lovely little moment for you all to say hello. Good morning, Camden. Camden Moore, good morning to you. I hope you're well. Yes, yes, yes. Tanya says, bless all those softies that can't handle dirty words. Well, now look, foul language isn't for everybody. It certainly is a part of me and what makes me me, but it isn't for everybody. I don't want to offend people, because the whole point is to make them happy and shed a little wisdom, right? Give a little love. But I can't help it. I have the mouth of a trucker. From here to here, I'm a trucker. You know, it's a thing. Good morning, Belinda Carter. So, first and foremost, I want to say good morning to my nephew Cody, Cody Stanley. He is 19 today, and he's celebrating his birthday. And it, I love this guy so much. Now, he's not my nephew by blood. He is Mama Kim, who's not my birth mother. She's one of my dearest, bestest, most. She is my best friend, and she's worked with me for 10 years. We are family. We're chosen family. It's basically she's adopted me. Her daughter, Mackenzie, you all know Mackenzie from Coffee with Ken Boggle or seeing her at conventions and fairs and things like that. It's Mackenzie's son. And he is celebrating his 19th birthday today. Probably one of the weirdest characters I know, Cody. He is very odd in that he has the world's driest sense of humor, dresses like a complete nutter, Hawaiian t-shirt, Hawaiian button-up shirts. He's 19. Hawaiian button-up shirts, aviator sunglasses, hair all kicked to the side, in like tube socks and loafers. It's like the coolest thing in the history of the world. Happy birthday, Cody. I hope it's a good one. Your mama has your money. I give money to people. I don't care to shop. I don't like shopping. I don't like thinking about what you would like. I don't care for it. If I have to, I will. If I have to, I will. But usually I go to this really special place and called an ATM, and it's where you get monies, and then I bring you those monies. That's how it works. That's what I do. It's a thing. Good morning, Nancy Dupin, who's watching us from Hardin Memorial Hospital in the ER. She's an ER nurse. Give love to Nancy Dupin, who is phenomenal. Miss Nancy Dupin over there. Bloop, bloop. Give her love and tell her we appreciate her and her efforts. Yes. Okay, cool. So this week, let's catch up. Jeez Louise. This week, I had, for the first time in my entire life, had a migraine. I have never had a headache last more than a couple of hours. I didn't know what to do about it. I've never had a headache make me sick to my stomach. I've never had a headache cause me to completely fall apart. That's just not happened. I can't think of a time I've ever had a headache that lasted more than a couple of hours. Um, Even on my worst hangover, which there have been many, I don't ever recall a time where I had lengthy migraines like that or headaches like that. So I didn't know what people meant when they said they had migraines. It's a real thing and it's a real problem. It was terrible. I had it for today's the first day that I've not had a headache, and for a hot minute, we all thought it was COVID. We all thought, great, Ken's got stomach issues. I was nauseous. I was, really sick, and my head felt like it was going to explode. And I got tested on Tuesday. They said it was negative. However, the onset of symptoms, with medical jargon, onset of symptoms needed to be a few more days They said somewhere around 4 or 5 days for me to be retested. So I was sick all Tuesday, wondering if it was COVID, out of work all day Wednesday, all day Thursday. Finally, Thursday evening, I went and got tested, and it turns out I'm COVID negative. So now we really got to figure out what the hell's going on. We all think it's a sinus infection. I agree. I agree. Miss Sarah Dixon says they are definitely not fun, babe. No, they're not. They're not fun at all. This house is ran on electric sensors and things. I don't know what's beeping. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh my gosh. Okay, so look. Here at the house, everything is also motion censored, right? So it's motion censored. I have been sitting here with the migraine and things like throughout the day, all day this week. Um, just working. I snuck into work, locked office. Nobody was there. I was masked. I was gloved. I went in. I got my computer and I dragged it home, or I drug it home. Anyway, I got home. I've been working from home, right? Well, there's a lamp that's next to the couch, and the lamp will. It doesn't turn on. It doesn't turn on and off, but the lamp glows like the bulb, and it doesn't have a shade on it. It has like a mesh shade because artsy modern decor. Um, it sort of glows and then dies down. It's not on a timer. It's not on some kind of. It is actually not motion censored. It's one of the only things that isn't motion censored. But it kind of just glows and then dies down. It doesn't happen hourly. It doesn't happen on the half hour. It's not a regular thing. It's not a timer thing. It is ran by Siri, who controls the whole freaking house. It's so weird. I feel like I'm on the Jetsons. It's bizarre. But we were watching a movie the other night. I forget what movie we were watching. Was it a scary movie we were watching? I don't know. We were watching a movie of some kind. And the whole light turned on by itself. And we were watching The Conjuring, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So we're watching The Conjuring, the third one, The Devil Made Me Do It. And out of nowhere, the motion censored light in the hall, in the living room, came on. And my boyfriend said, yeah, the light sometimes comes on. It's motion censored. And I said, oh, okay. And then I looked around the room and said, okay, there's one, two, three dogs, two handsome gay men. We're all present. What motion activated that? What motion activated that light? Like what caused that to happen? And apparently it just randomly does. It is also not on a timer. It's also a thing that's controlled by Siri. However, no one asked her to turn it on or any of this stuff. Very weird situation. And then last night we were watching Twilight. We were watching Twilight Breaking Dawn, part one, and the sucker came on by itself. Very weird, very bizarre. I don't know what that's about. Shelby Catherine Mulholland, good morning to you, my love. You are not alone. I love you very much. I'm so glad you reached out to me last night just to chit chat, and you do that anytime you want to. But Kathy says, nope, I'm out. Cleansing the house. I'm out of cleansing the house. I'm done. LOL. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Miss Jennifer Valaket says, hell no to that. Hell no, no, no. She says, nay, nay, Shantae, I ain't doing it. Anyway, so yeah. That's a thing that happened. It was really, really weird and bizarre. So we were watching the Conjuring movie, the third Conjuring movie. Have you all seen it? Have you all seen the Conjuring movie? It's called The Devil Made Me Do It. Have you seen it? Is really, really good. I watched the first Conjuring movie. This is the story about the Perron family. You all know about the Perron family. They did a great job with that story. Of course, the books are called House of Darkness, House of Light, written by Andrea Perron, and lovely, great, well-written set of books. Great, great detail, great information, all those things. Awesome. Uh, that was the first Conjuring movie. Remember, this is when they kind of introduced Annabelle. This is the family that moved to the farmhouse, and then all hell breaks loose. That was a good one. I watched the second Conjuring. It was garbage. I didn't care for it. It was about the infield poltergeist. If you don't know what the infield poltergeist is, it is one of the most controversial paranormal cases of the United Kingdom, I would say. Of the United Kingdom. That is I think, the most controversial and most intriguing. It's called the Infield Poltergeist. Check it out. Anywho, they did a Conjuring movie about it because apparently Ed and Lorraine had their snouts in that too, and it was garbage. It was a horrible, terrible movie. I don't suggest you watch it. Skip that shit. It ain't right. But the third one, The Devil Made Me Do It, it's about. Well, I won't tell you what it's about because I don't want to like ruin it for you. But it is like a legally documented series of events that happened. Um, Awesome, awesome, awesome movie. But it is the first time I've ever seen a movie where they actually got it right. When I do psychic readings, and I'm really, really into them, I react in certain ways. And in The Conjuring, the third movie, they portrayed those ways beautifully. Not all of them. There's certain things like I've never tried to run off a cliff, or I've never been so caught up in my vision that I lost track of where I was physically. That has only happened once, but the rest of it's spot on. Even the fact that the character of Lorraine Warren in this movie kind of holds her hand out and will sort of touch things and will sort of shake loose negative vibes that she gets, or um, even the way that like nobody will be in the room, but she will sense a spirit and she will turn to look at it. Those are things that like I really, really do. And it was interesting to me to see it finally portrayed in a movie that reflected sort of me. I think the biggest moment was when there's a part of the movie where a little kid is going through something horrific, and Lorraine is sitting kind of there just in the memory of it, right? Because she wasn't there. She's psychically connected to what's happened. And her eyes are filled with tears, and she's watching this scene play out, and she's experiencing the horror of it. And then she sort of stands up, and there's this clarity that she comes to. That's sort of what happens. So I suggest watching Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and understand that, yeah, it's really pepped up and souped up for Hollywood. However, watch the character of Lorraine Warren. It's pretty spot on to what happens in my brain. Good morning to Miss Amy Rucker and Rosa Neal. Good morning, Rosa. Good morning, Greg Began. Love me some Greg. Hey, babe, how are you doing? And Mike Archer says the third one was pretty good. Yeah, the third one was pretty good. He says agree that this on the second one that it wasn't that great. So yeah, Jennifer Valquez says that she's gonna stick to the Disney movies. She loves Disney movies. Hell, she is a Disney movie. I'm telling you, the chick is basically Snow freaking White. It's a vibe. It's a thing. Yes, Greg says he's doing well. Lovely to hear it. Okay, if you would please, everybody, click share. We're almost done with catching up. As soon as we're finished with catching up, we'll do your tarot gallery reading. But I'm going to tell you about last night when I seductively punched a ceiling fan. Are you ready to hear that story? So your good buddy Ken Boggle. Wait. I wish I still smoked cigarettes. I would smoke a cigarette right now just to tell this story. Okay, so here's what had happened. So there we were, my boyfriend and I. We were watching The Conjuring, and not The Conjuring. We were watching Twilight, right? And we're kind of in our feels. We had just had a really lovely dinner that I ruined by doing a practical joke on the server. We'll talk about that maybe some other time, but if yeah, it's a thing that happened. It was funny in the moment. Now I'm like, meh. But anywho, we had this lovely dinner. We came home. We put on Twilight. We were watching Twilight, and this is the movie where Bella and Edward get married, and it's the movie where Bella gets pregnant. If you've not seen Twilight yet, that third movie, I don't know what to say, or that fourth movie, I don't know what to say to you. So spoiler alert or whatever, but get your life together. You're garbage. I mean, if you've not seen Twilight Breaking Dawn, I don't know what to say. Anywho, so it was like a caught up in the feels thing. They get married in this. It was really kind of heartwarming and kind of touching. And there's a lot in the way that Edward and Bella, there's a lot in the way of how they treat each other that is very kind of what my boyfriend and I kind of are like. We do that. We kind of smile at each other in certain ways. We Even when Edward she was walking down the aisle to go toward Edward during the wedding yesterday. He turned around on the couch and he looked at me and he was like, "You sometimes smile at me like that." And I informed him that I often smile at him like that, even when he doesn't notice, because I'm proud of him and I think he's beautiful and wonderful. And I'm head over the heels crazy about him. So, anyway, we had this beautiful little moment, right? Everything's good and groovy. We made cookies. Those cookies were good. We had a lovely little makeout sesh on the couch. We got frisky, things are going great. And then we go to the bedroom, right? It's on. We're gonna have hot, passionate, beautiful, love-making moment, right? Well, I had to go to the restroom, didn't I? Because you got to prepare, don't you? You got to get everything put together. You gotta do the human thing, right? So I go and I go to the restroom and I come out and I'm like, okay, this is happening. This is the music is the music is like playing in the background. The lighting's all dim. Let me setting the scene for you. Picture it. Beautiful, gorgeous bed, big, huge king size bed. This beautiful man is in it, half naked and gorgeous. And then I come out of the bathroom, right? Your buddy Ken Boggle. I come out of the bathroom, right? In my head, I'm Britney Spears. In my head, I'm serving Marilyn Monroe. I'm serving, classic, sexy, hot, masculine. I'm a Diet Coke commercial from the 90s. And so I've reached down, right, and I'm pulling my shirt up over my head. And as I do, bam, I punched the ceiling fan right in the fucking blade. And you heard crack and pop. I'm telling you, this whole thing here busted a ceiling fan in the sexiest moment I thought I was having. He wasn't even paying attention. He was on Pandora or something. He didn't even know that I was being seductive when I'm doing this. It's just what was happening. I thought I was going to throw him a bone. Anyway, so there I was, punched a ceiling fan. Then I'm just screaming, like not scream. What would you say I did? I didn't wail in pain. I didn't. I don't know what I was doing. It was certainly a fucking moment where I grabbed my hands and whimpered. I whimpered slightly. I might have whimpered slightly, and I realized that my hand wasn't right. Right, like I could do this, and this finger was catching. I've never been double jointed like that. Um, but apparently, I now am. And it started making weird noises. Tim, tell him. It started making weird noises and it was clicking. Every time I would do that, it was like clicking. And I started to panic. He tells me to pull on it and reset it. Suddenly he's, a medical degree, osteopath of some kind. He's a chiropractor. He's going to help me fix it. It hurt so freaking bad. And I was there in the dark. I thought it was bleeding. And it wasn't bleeding. He turns on the light. He's like, "Are you okay?" And he was very kind and decent about it. But geez Louise, it was a whole nightmare. Your buddy Ken Boggle punched a ceiling fan and the ceiling fan won. It won. It took your buddy out. It did. Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever done that? Have you ever thought in your head that you were serving like real sexy vibes and then suddenly you punch a ceiling fan? Has that ever happened to anybody? Is that a thing? Patricia Johnson Stacy says, "Go Maryland. You go, girl. You better work." Yeah. Tashay says, "Oh, honey." Oh, honey. Kathy Kathy Seaver says she does it all the time. Does it all the time. She's in there acting sexy. Next thing you know, she slaps a blender. Or she's in there acting sexy. Next thing you know, she's need the dryer. I don't know. Appliances are dangerous. Shelby Mulholland says it happens to us all. Oh, goodness. No, 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 no. It's okay. It's okay. The dogs went berserk. Isn't that awesome? Let me tell you, you should see Charlie. Charlie, where you at? Anyway, we'll meet Charlie in a minute. Mike Archer says he has stories he can't disclose on here. Now, Mike Archer, if I disclose stories like that on here, I don't see why you can't. I don't see it. Bridget Hagee says, sorry to hear about that. That sex blocking ceiling fan. It was a cock block, is what it was. Thrown off Facebook. Yeah. Did the light come on? No, the light didn't come on. Of course, it's not the way that one turns on a light, is it? Not necessarily the way one should go about turning on an appliance, knuckle punching it. Come here, Charlie. Come on, Charles. Come on, buddy. He's found a little crumb and he's distracted. Come here, Charlie. I want to tell you something about this little rat baby. Come here. Look at this little. He looks like a little rat baby from like an '80s movie. Look at little baby. Isn't he cute? Anyway, yeah, it was. It certainly didn't block the sex. We still had the sex, and it was amazing and wonderful, and it was great. Give me emojis for sticking with it. Pop those emojis up for not letting a ceiling fan get in the way of a good, sexy Saturday night. Am I right, kids? Am I right? Anyway, so that's the thing. Okay, make sure you're hitting comments and the emojis and sharing and all this because we're getting ready to do the tarot gallery reading. So if you are in the chat room of like Facebook, or you're on the Cosm app, or you are on YouTube, go ahead and start typing in your questions and they will pop up on the screen next to me, and I will endeavor to answer them with the tarot cards, intuition, and some common sense. So type those questions in. Yes, speaking of Cosm, get yourself a subscription to Cosm if you'd like. I think it's a wonderful thing that's really been very helpful to me, and it feeds me and helps independent content creators get on it. Normally, my good buddy Elizabeth Saint, she's here with me, and she produces this program for you to watch it free every Sunday morning. Or for those who do support Cosm, thank you for doing that. She does it for you. And today she's having a sleepover with her daughter and her little friend. I got to see them before the thing started. My good little buddy Charlize and her cousin. Uh, they were wearing twinsy t-shirts and super cute, having a sleepover. And anyway, she's doing that right now, so she can't be with us. But we love you, Elizabeth. Okay, so Tanya Gaines says, "Will my trip next weekend be good for me?" Let's find out. Get these tarot cards out. Are you ready? Everybody, take a big deep breath for me. Let that sink in and enjoy it. Miss Tanya is wanting to know if her trip next weekend will be good for her. We'll shuffle the deck, thinking of the questions. We'll get some answers. The cards did something funny they normally don't do. Will Tanya's trip next weekend be good for her? Let's find out. We'll cut them up for you real quick. Let's cut those cards. Tanya, I really encourage you to make it a good trip. Make it a good trip. It's going to be a bit odd. It's going to be a bit odd. Things aren't going to play out quite the way you imagined them to. There's going to be some delays. There's going to be some setbacks. There's going to be some travel related issues and problems. Um, there is the potential for it to be good for you and emotionally fulfilling, though. Bloop. There we go. This is the Nine of Cups. This is the Nine of Cups. You see, let's do Tarot 101. All of his emotions are lined up. You see his emotions are represented by cups here. They're all lined up. They're all upright, which means that there's potential for everything to go well from moment to moment. Notice that he is overweight. Lots of the other characters in the tarot are not overweight. So what this means is that he is satisfied. His weight actually represents satisfaction. It represents the indulgence of allowing yourself to be filled. So yeah, there are moments that it's going to be great and wonderful and things like that, but there's also going to be moments of just like absolute blah. So what we need to do is this, because we know faith, concrete action, and perseverance can change anything the tarot cards say. These things are your karma. Your faith, concrete action, and perseverance are things that you can control to make it easy, okay, to make it better, to change or alter the outcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for opportunities where small things go right, and I want you to celebrate them, okay? I want you to enjoy them, celebrate them, live in it, enjoy it. I want you to get out of your head. I want you to get out of your head, and I want you to get some rest. I want you to calm the fuck down. Get out of your head. Take some time to rest, mentally recuperate. It's very important. Also, I want you to be okay with the fact that not everything will go as planned. Okay, you can make a list, check it twice, you can plot and strategize and do all those things, but sometimes things just don't go right. This is the moon. It's an odd little, well, it's an odyssey. You'll see though that in the card there is a great journey that is ahead. You notice the road there. So the road twists and turns. Your trip will twist and turn. What goes up will come down. Everything that should go down will go up. It's just weird and bizarre, but it is something you need to do. It's something you need to do. This trip is something you're called to do. I don't think it's entirely just for pleasure. There's something else that's making you do this. There's another layer to that, because these wolves, these dogs, are howling not out of want, but out of a draw, a cry to do so. So I'm very interested to see uh, how your trip turns out. Have faith that it's all going to be good. Put in concrete action to get ahead of as much strife and trouble as you can, and persistently look for ways to enjoy yourself. Come out of your head and take some time to enjoy it. Okay. Awesome. Mike Archer says there was an EVP that I heard as you repeated the question before shuffling that sounded like no. Ooh, Mike Archer, what I need you to do is I need you to kind of isolate that sound and the video and send it to me so we can post it in the comment section here on the Facebook. Yes. Joan Costello says, any reading, please, your choice. Tashay says, are there any spirit guide messages? Let's see. Surely we've got somebody who's got a little something else going on. Anyway, let's look at Jones first. Joan says, I've not really done a reading for Joan in a hot minute. She says, are there any readings that you can give me? You know, your choice. Awesome. Dealer's choice, she says. Dealer's choice. Here we go. Let's do something we've never done on Coffee with Ken Boggle. Let's do a past life reading. Past life reading for Joan. Joan Costello. We're going to do this is a really quick, normally when you're in a tarot card reading and you do a past life reading, you get to take your time and you get to enjoy it and you get to really decipher these little clues, these little hints, these little treasures that you get, we're going to kind of speed line it a little bit. Past life reading for Joan Costello. Now, this is a 16 card spread. We don't have time to read each card individually. Otherwise, the whole show would be about Joan, which is not terrible, is it, Joan? Not bad at all. If you're a narcissist like me, it's a bit of all right. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so for starters, Joan, one of the things that's really important for you to know is that you probably had something in the neighborhood of about 17 lives prior to the one I'm about to read. Possibly more, I would say. What people don't realize about reincarnation is that it's been happening since the world started turning. Okay, it's been happening since the world started turning. And it's a thing where you have always existed in some form or other, because we all go back to the source. The source is God or universe or, whatever you choose to believe. But it is definitely a thing where you have got to, hold on just a second. Hey, Tim, you fell asleep and started snoring. Tim started snoring. His first debut here on Coffee with Ken Boggle was a snore. We love that. Anyway, so the human spirit goes on and on and on and exists in one form or the other. And so you have probably had about 17 or more lives prior to the one that we're about to read. In the one that we're about to read also, you are going to be shocked to find out that you are male. There is a thing here where there are a lot of masculine cards. There are a lot of masculine cards, but my spirit guide says they're wrong. Now, this is interesting too. So I'm at odds with what the tarot cards have to say, because I think that they're feminine. But we'll go with what the tarot says, because it's rarely wrong and it's early on a Sunday morning and I'm not going to battle it. Male. I say, okay, we'll go with tarot and say it's male. If you were female, it was a very masculine sort of a vibe that you had. Okay, so if you get along better with men than you get along with women, and you've done so for the majority of the life you're living now, this is probably because you were kind of very butch, or it's because you were a guy. Okay, you were born into the life pretty exhausted, pretty tired. This life existence happened somewhere. Some of the 1800s. I would say that it happened. I would say it happened to early 1800s, and I would say that it is most likely European. Um, I'm getting a vibe that there's probably something Celtic about it. It's something very kind of, I don't know, in that line of thought. Uh, you were born into a family that loved you very, very, very much. There, it was a traditional family. There was a mother, there was a father. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you were to tell me now that you've had issues with your parents, I wouldn't doubt it, because you have already fulfilled this part of the human journey, um, as having a lovely family life. So very interested to see if maybe in this life your parental situation wasn't as great as it could be. It's a question I have. Feel free to answer in the comment section below. But usually when someone has something really great that happens in the past life, they have to experience the opposite in the second life. You understand? Anywho, so times were tough. Although you had a loving, great family, times were really, really difficult. There was not a whole lot of money. There was a whole lot of farming, a whole lot of farming. There was a whole lot of struggle. There was a lot of struggle between the family and other families. This is some kind of a neighbor versus neighbor kind of vibe. It was really kind of very difficult. And yeah, challenging. That kind of environment was challenging. It was over land. So I think it's always interesting in the past life to sort of read what your education was like and what your social standing was like and all these other little bits and pieces, but we just don't have time for it because you want to know how you died, right? How did I die in my past life? In my past life, it was a horrific death, and it pretty interesting. One day maybe we'll talk about it. But yours was not. Yours was not. You actually passed of natural causes in your sleep. Passed of natural causes in your sleep. So if you have trouble sleeping in this life, I wouldn't doubt it. I would say that it's probably very challenging and maybe anxious, makes you anxious a little bit to go to sleep. But that's certainly a thing that happens when one passes in one life in their sleep and then is reborn. They sometimes have issues getting rest. It happens. It's happened to all of us at one point in our spiritual journey as human beings. It's happened at one point to us all. But for you, Joan, I'd say it's pretty spot on. Okay, so here's my favorite part of a past life reading, right? So you get all these cards to talk about, who you were and what happened in that life, and sort of how it kind of relates to your life doesn't happen until the end of the reading, right? So there's this whole column of things and people that followed you. And here's where shit gets good. Your father followed you from the past life. And he did not play the part of your father in this life. He's actually a man that you dated or were married to that was overbearing and maybe a little controlling. That's who he was in this life. Your mother followed you. Your mother followed you, but she's taken the form of a friend in this life. And I'm seeing you younger, high school friend, maybe. Yeah, high school friend that you had, a chick that was somehow you were drawn to, you were connected to. There was some kind of a vibe that you had together. Um, she kind of forced you to think differently. This guy who was your father in the past life, in this life was a romantic partner, forced you to deal with your emotions differently. Um, these people followed you. Something else that followed you was your ability to communicate with people. Because you remember back in your reading, I was just saying to you that you had family strife, neighbor versus neighbor. Um, I believe that you were the person that bridged that gap. I believe that your purpose in that life was to be peacekeeper. That talent has followed you. I don't know if you ever. Joan's completely dropped off. I don't even know where the hell Joan is. She's not even watching. We're doing a whole damn reading for her. She's definitely on the comment section. I hope you're there, Joan. Anywho, um, your ability to kind of be a peacekeeper, your ability to say build bridges of people who are obviously 22 different directions is real. If you're not living true to that, that would be a problem. You would find good. She's here. Awesome. You would find that. You would find that you often are the person people go to when there's issues that need to be resolved, right? Lastly, you were followed by your spirit guide. Now, I have never ever known for someone to have the same spirit guide twice. I've never known that. But there is something about the past life and the spirit guide you had then that has followed you to the life and spirit guide that you have now. So, yeah, that's very interesting, very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a really quick past life reading for your buddy Joan. Everybody give her claps. Joan, if you would, in the comment section, talk about things that I discussed and maybe if they worked or if they didn't work or if they made some kind of clarity or if they sort of hit home. That would be very, very cool of you to do. That would be great. Awesome. Miss Joan Costello, very cool that you joined us. So, Patricia Johnson Stacy says, wow, wow, right back to you. And Joan, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Patricia Johnson Stacy, thank you very much for joining us. And Sil Blevins, hi, good morning to you. Let me move my big fat knuckle out of the way. Let's see. Tanya says, I love to watch you read and hear the spirits. Yeah, it's a very interesting process that happens. Good morning, Jared Hall. Jared Hall says, I think it would answer so much. What would answer much, baby? Let's go back and find out here. Jared Hall says he wants a past life reading that it would answer so much. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do a little past life reading for Jared Hall? Okay, let's do it real quick. Okay, we'll do it real quick. Um, Joan says in confirmation, basically, she says, yes, people come to her for advice. She's a healer. That's what you should be. People come to you to communicate, to heal. That's something that happens in the Two of Cups. Real quick, I'll show it to you. In the Two of Cups, you often have the ability to heal people by communicating with them. You'll notice that this is the medical staff here. You'll notice the medical staff coming between the two individuals. This means that your communication and connections with others do actually heal them. So well done. That's wonderful. Okay, this one real quick for Jared. Jared Hall. Everybody say hello to Jared. He's a good buddy, good friend. In high school, he's a good friend, good good person. Always kind, always nice. Past life reading for Jared Hall. Oh boy. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ooh. Interesting. Hello, buddy. That was Lucy coming off the chair there. Lucy coming off the chair. Yes. Hi, babe. Jared, do you have kids? I have to know if you have kids. Yeah. Answer in the comment section below if you've got kids, Jared, because I'm really interested if you do. Because it's going to make what I say next very intriguing. Okay, so in the past life I'm about to read for you, Jared, you probably had, I would say, some in the neighborhood of about 10 or 11 lives prior to it. Um, I would say that when you were born into life we're about to read, you were really gun ho. Usually around 10 lives and longer than that, a person's pretty exhausted and pretty tired. You passed somewhere in the late 60s, and it's interesting as to why. I honestly think I knew you. I think I knew you. I think that's why there's some kind of weird, inexplicable connection that I've had when I've seen you. Like even in the hallway of school, I would look and kind of pay attention to what you were doing or what was happening. I don't know. I think I knew you. Because we do that. Sometimes we're drawn to people right when we've had a past life with them and we don't remember exactly what that past life was. Anywho, you were born, I would say, somewhere in the neighborhood of the 40s. I'm feeling like 44, 43. 43. It's pretty close, I think. Uh, you then were educated. You went to high school. You went to college. You had a family of siblings. They were pretty great. You had a pretty good family life. There was some money there. There was money there. You had a really deep connection to your mother, a really deep connection to your mom. Um, so much so that she was a bigger part of your development than even school. She was that big of an influence, right? Your mother. So I'm really interested into what your relationship with your mother's like in this life. I would be interested to see. Now, I don't think that it is the same spirit that followed you. I don't think that your mother in the past life was your mother in this life. I would just like to really know what your relationship with her is now. Um, in the 60s, actually late 50s, you got involved in the social civil rights movement. And this introduced you to a group of people that were involved in certain things. These things are drugs and alcohol. So you, uh, you, I think, got involved in drugs, and I think you got involved in alcohol, and I think it really sucked the life out of you. Here's why. I think that when the devil pops up in someone's life, they're obviously chained to something. They're chained to something that um, they can't break free from. And they are often tied so tightly that this devil, this issue they have, this addiction, this struggle, this problem, this horrible thing that they're struggling with, it follows them from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. So I think that this was the seed of addiction. I think this was the seed of escapism. I think this was a person who was so hurt by everything that was going on around them. I think you were African American. I believe that you were African American. I believe that you marched. I believe that I had a vision just now of dogs barking and snapping and policemen and fire. Um, I see a lot of blood too. It's a problem. It was a thing now where it's a real problem, and I'm having a hard time coming out of the vision. But anyway, I think you then drank yourself into a place where you accidentally overdosed. That's what I think happened. I think you drank yourself into a place you accidentally overdosed. Um, I died in '69. I came back in '84. I think you came back in what year? '83. I don't remember. I don't know how old you are. I think maybe you were a year ahead of me, maybe. But anyway, so it nice to see you again. I guess I was a white music teacher in California, and a Buddhist music teacher in California, and I participated in the civil rights movement in the past life, which is why I so care deeply about. He was born in '81. '80s were a great time for the people who died in the '60s to come back, right? Um, I think like this, real quick, because we're going to do the tarot weekly forecast. But I look at it and I think like this: your issues um, with drugs and alcohol followed you. And he says, do people ever repeat? I struggled in this lifetime and beat the hell out of it 10 years clean. Absolutely. Absolutely. And cheers to you. Congratulations. Everybody show Jared love in the comment section. Show him love in the comment section. Let him know that we're proud of him, and let him know that we know the struggle is hard. The struggle is real. I mean, it's a real thing. Addiction's a real thing, and it will suck the life out of you. So I'm proud of you, baby boy. Very proud of you. I think the world of you. And I am so knocked out that you still stay in touch with me and things like that. It's very, very cool. But yeah, theory themes repeat. They really do repeat. I sold drugs to the Hells Angels in a past life, and they ended up killing me. And I back in the day threw a bit of drugs around as well. So yeah, people repeat. That's why it's important for us to do what you've done, which is break the karmic cycle of addiction, and move on. Okay, so things that followed you in this life. There are a bit of things in this life that followed you. Always looking toward equality, looking toward balancing out emotions, looking toward looking toward balance in general, the need for freedom, the need to rebel, the need to fight against the norm, the need to not accept things as they are, but make them as best as they can be, or the need to stir shit up, just the need to disturb, the need to disrupt. That's the word, to disrupt. That's a thing that followed you. That's the thing that followed you. You should have been a father. You should have been a father. Absolutely should have been a father. The wisdom you have to impart on a child is absolutely uh, astonishing. It's a wonderful thing. If you're, I bet you're the best uncle in the whole world. I would imagine. Jared says, "I've always seen you for you. You're all you was a great person. I'm um, a blind people out there in people's life for a reason. Yeah, I've always believed I would have done well in the 70s. Well, you didn't make it quite to the 70s, but you didn't make it quite to the 70s, but we did the 60s really well, didn't we? So anyway, yeah, I say, look, your need to break free and your need to help others and things like that is why the life theme of the Hierophant has played back at you in this life. I think that it's really, really a great card about um, the keys that unlock the shackles that were found in this card. Because as you see, Tarot 102, this is an elevated class that I would teach. There is the mirror image of the Hierophant and the Devil. You see, both are characters that are in the center of the card. Both have people at their feet. These people here are the kind of people that are taking the traditional journey. They're the people who are unlocking their chains. They're the people who are free from addiction, free from pain, and free from struggles. Okay, that's what happened in the Hierophant. In the Devil, these people are still latched on. They're still hooked to it. Okay, so anyway, you see the juxtaposition between the two. And really, if you know tarot, you know that the Devil represents the evils in life, and the Hierophant represents traditions, religion, spirituality, things like that. So yeah, feed your spirit, kids. Take care of yourselves. Let loose those bonds that hold you and bind you. It's important that you do so. Two past life readings for everybody here today on Coffee with Ken Boggle. Real quick, we're going to do a tarot weekly forecast. Are you ready? Get your pen, get your paper. Let's get it together, okay? Jared says, spot on. And he is the best uncle. Wonderful. I figured you would be. I figured you would be. You should participate in the life of people who are emotionally immature, or you should participate in the lives of children, actual children, okay? Tarot Weekly Forecast. I'm going to give you a card for each day of the week. I'm going to tell you what that card is, what's going to happen, and how to make the terrible terrific. Are you ready? Here we go. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to have to stop doing these. We're going to have to stop doing these, damn it. Oh, golly. Golly. Okay, Monday. Monday's a bit of a struggle. It's important for you to hold on to yourself and to battle the beast inside. It is strength. Monday, not sure what date that is. What date is that, Elizabeth? I'm not quite sure. But Monday, strength. This is major arcana card, so there's lots of things happening. You're going to learn, you're going to have to maintain grace and 920. Great. Monday, the 20th of September. You have to maintain the fluidity of grace and patience while you manhandle the struggle in your life, the struggle in your day. Lots of people are watching you do this. This is probably family or work, I would imagine. For me, it's going to be work. I wasn't there last week, so I'm sure there's a beast and a half waiting for me on my desk when I get there. Actually, somebody already sent a photo of it. Monday, the 20th of September, strength. Get yours, get your courage, get your patience, and get your grace, because Monday's a bit of a bitch. Tuesday, the 21st of September, Queen of Swords. Tuesday, the 21st, is the Queen of Swords. It's important this day to nurture positive communication. It's a good day to troubleshoot things. It's a good day to help other people who are struggling with their own issues. It's a good day to reach out to your mother. It's a good day to sit on your throne and figure shit out. Okay. Make sure you're doing what queens do and nurture positive thought and positive communication. Wednesday, the 22nd. Wednesday is the 22nd of September. Rough day. Now, a lot of people jokingly bitch and complain about swords and how they're terrible. Well, we should have been happy when we were getting the Three of Swords. We should have been thrilled with that. This is the Three of Swords. You should be happy with the 10. You should be happy with the 9. You should be happy with the 2, because when you draw the Three of Swords, something really interesting is about to happen on Wednesday. I feel that this card is most usually about grief and depression. It's usually about heartbreak and loss. I I am overwhelmed by the thought that this is actually going to be societal. Like, do you know what I mean? It's going to happen in society. I think that there's terrible things happening. I mean, look, we have immigrants from Haiti who are trying to escape a terrible situation where they're still reeling from an earthquake that happened down there, and they're being held at a border under a bridge but by rifles, and it's a terrible situation. So it's a humanitarian crisis, basically. These things are heartbreak. These things are terrible. I think something not right happens Wednesday. But if we think about it, grief and loss happens absolutely every single day, always. It's important that we allow. It's important that we don't try to resist the effects of it. We can try to resist the cause, but the effects have to be had. If you need to grieve and you need to suffer a little bit on Wednesday, that's a part of the human condition, right? We never get to enjoy the beauty of light without experiencing the depth of the dark. You know, it's like my good friend Bob Ross used to say, you got to have that darkness in there. You got to have a little bit of darkness to appreciate the light. So I expect some heavy hearted day on Wednesday, the 22nd. Positive news. Positive news is that Thursday, the 23rd, you return to a place of balance. Wednesday, the 23rd, you return to a place of balance. Now, this makes me think that Three of Swords might be something that is a bit distant. I don't think it's going to be complete terrible losses in each individual life. Surely somebody out there is going to lose someone, or is going to not just death, but like breakups or heartache or things like that. These are losses too. Loss of a job, loss on Wednesday. Wednesday is about loss. But Thursday, 23rd, that is about balance. It is about spreading your wings, staying grounded, still allowing yourself to dip your toe in. So dip your toe in a little bit and try new things. But it is about staying grounded. Notice that back foot. These wings are about creating something for yourself. It's about look, I'm flying. It's about ambition in achieving these things, all the while giving and taking. Okay, giving and taking, pouring from one cup to the other. It is about balance. This brings us to Friday. Friday is the 24th of September, and it is the Eight of Coins. The Eight of Coins reminds us to put our head down, get to work, be diligent, be focused, do your damn job. It's important for you to block out. You see the gates here are closed. Block out all other sources of issues. Block out other stimulants, other stimuli, I guess is the word to use. Um, and focus. Get better and better and better each time you create something on Friday. Just put your head down. Focus. Do the damn job. Saturday, the 25th of September is the Tower. This is a day where we're going to have to put things back together. It's a day where we're going to have to put things back together. There's some